The driest place on Earth has a water problem. The Atacama Desert receives less than 2 millimeters of rainfall annually in some areas. Less than 2 millimeters. A single raindrop contains more water than some parts of this landscape receive in a year. And yet, communities lived here for 2,000 years. They did not just survive, they farmed. The water is there. It has always been there. 2,000 years ago, a coastal community figured out how to take it from the air. This is Camanchaca agriculture, the fog farming system of the Atacama coast. For at least 2,000 years, the Chango people built food production systems in one of the driest environments on Earth, using the only water source available to them. Not rain, not rivers, not wells, Pacific fog. The Tarapacá Coastal Range, northern Chile, approximately 800 CE. Early morning. The Camanchaca arrived overnight. It always does, rolling in from the Pacific in a dense, cold wall of moisture that the coastal range catches and holds against the hillsides for the hours before the sun climbs high enough to burn it off. This is the window. A woman climbs the terrace before the light is fully established. She has timed this since she was old enough to climb alone. Her mother timed it before her. The timing is not a preference. It is the difference between a productive terrace and a dry one. The terrace is positioned with precision that took generations to develop. Not higher, above the fog zone, the air is clear and dry. Not lower, below the fog zone, the moisture disperses before it condenses. Exactly here, at the elevation where the Camanchaca slows against the coastal range and releases its water against every surface it touches. The crops growing in the terrace soil are beaded with condensation along every leaf and stem. The ground 30 meters downslope is bone-dry, cracked, pale earth. Not because it rained. It has not rained here in 4 months. The smell of the Camanchaca reaches her before she reaches the terrace. Cold, mineral, oceanic. The smell of a civilization's food security delivered by physics and elevation and the precise placement of stone. She does not need a weather forecast. She needs the fog. It is coming now. The Chango people are documented in archaeological records along the Pacific coast of what is now northern Chile and southern Peru from approximately 500 BCE onward. What the Universidad de Tarapacá's archaeological research has confirmed are pre-Columbian agricultural terraces positioned in the Atacama Lomas zones, specifically within fog zone elevation bands. These are not accidental agricultural features, they are precision infrastructure. Terraces built in areas receiving less than 2 millimeters of rainfall annually and positioned within the exact elevation bands where the Camanchaca consistently condensed against the coastal range. Food production in one of the driest environments on Earth made possible entirely by atmospheric moisture. The Lomas ecosystems that made this possible are documented by researchers including Mary Rundle and Alicia Dillon, fog oasis communities sustained entirely by Camanchaca moisture in landscape receiving almost no rainfall. The Chango communities did not discover these zones. They inherited knowledge of them accumulated over generations of observation precise enough to position agricultural infrastructure within fog zone boundaries with accuracy that modern ecologists have spent decades mapping with instruments. By the 1400s, when the Inca Empire incorporated the Atacama coastal regions, the fog-dependent agricultural knowledge had entered the broader Andean agricultural knowledge system. Archaeological evidence documented by the Universidad Nacional Mayor de San Marcos confirms Inca-period stone structures on Andean hillsides positioned specifically in fog zone elevations, functioning as fog directors guiding atmospheric moisture toward agricultural terraces below. The same solution appeared independently in the Negev Desert, the Canary Islands, the coastal mountains of Morocco, the fog belts of Namibia. Across every geography where fog arrives reliably and rainfall does not, communities built systems to collect what the atmosphere provided. Separated by oceans and centuries, arriving at identical conclusions because the physics does not change. The disruption of Camanchaca agriculture did not begin with a law or a decree. It began with a goat. Spanish colonial land use in the Atacama coastal ranges from approximately 1540 onward introduced European grazing animals, primarily goats, to the lomas ecosystems the Chango communities depended on. Goats are uniquely destructive to lomas plant communities. They consume the fog-adapted vegetation that holds moisture in the soil and creates the biological surface area that converts atmospheric water into groundwater. Research published by the Universidad de Chile documents the collapse of lomas plant communities in areas subjected to colonial grazing pressure between 1500 and 1700 CE. Without the vegetation, the fog still came, but without the biological infrastructure to hold it, the moisture evaporated before it could reach agricultural soil. Simultaneously, the Spanish colonial encomienda system forcibly relocated Chango communities from their coastal territories, placing them in Spanish-administered settlements that prioritized labor extraction from mining and fishing industries over the maintenance of traditional agricultural systems. The intergenerational knowledge transfer of fog-dependent farming, the knowledge of which elevation bands to farm, how to position stone structures to direct condensation, which crop varieties were adapted to fog zone conditions, required physical presence on specific hillsides in specific seasons to be transmitted. Relocation broke that chain. The Universidad de Tarapaca's archaeological documentation confirms the abandonment of the pre-Columbian fog zone agricultural terraces. During the colonial period, the communities that maintained them were removed from the land before they could teach the next generation what they knew. By 1700, the lomas agricultural systems of the Atacama coast had largely ceased functioning as food production infrastructure. The fog still came, 200 days every year, carrying water across the driest inhabited landscape on Earth, with nobody left who remembered how to collect it. The atmospheric science behind Camanchaca agriculture is not contested. Robert Schemenauer and Pilar Cereceda published their foundational fog collection research in the Journal of Applied Meteorology in 1994. Their Chango project in the Chilean Atacama documented 15,000 liters of water collected daily from atmospheric moisture using large mesh nets, enough to supply an entire village's drinking water needs from fog alone. Zero ongoing energy input, zero chemical treatment at source, zero infrastructure beyond mesh and collection troughs. The lomas ecosystems that made this possible receive the equivalent of 200 to 400 millimeters of water annually from fog in landscape that receives less than 2 millimeters of rainfall. The Universidad de Tarapaca's archaeological confirmation of pre-Columbian fog zone agricultural conformation demonstrates that this moisture level is sufficient for food crop production. The Chango communities were not supplementing rainfall agriculture with fog collection, they were replacing it entirely and sustaining communities for 2,000 years on the result. A 2019 review published in the journal Atmosphere documented fog water collection potential across global fog zone climates, confirming viable atmospheric moisture collection across the Pacific coast of South America, the Atlantic coasts of Morocco and Namibia, the mountain fog belts of Ethiopia and Yemen, the coastal ranges of Oman, and the fog belts of Southern California and the Pacific Northwest. These regions collectively include a significant proportion of the areas where the WHO's 2.2 billion water-insecure people live today. Here is what atmospheric fog collection produces at measurable scale. 1 meter by 2 meters of shade cloth mesh angled into the prevailing fog-bearing wind, the smallest viable collection unit, produces 0.5 to 3 liters per fog night. Scale to 10 meters by 10 meters, and a single household is producing meaningful daily water supply from atmospheric moisture alone in the right climate. The Chango project, scaled to community level, produced 15,000 liters daily. The material inputs were mesh, frame, and collection trough. The ongoing energy requirement was zero. In communities across Ethiopia, Nepal, Guatemala, Yemen, and Morocco, where FogQuest has deployed fog collection systems since 2000, the documented yields confirm what the Chango numbers established. Atmospheric moisture collection is viable wherever coastal or mountain fog zones exist consistently. The yield scales linearly with surface area. The cost scales with materials. The energy cost remains zero. The Chango communities ran this system for 2,000 years with stone, fiber, and the precise knowledge of where to stand. The atmosphere globally holds approximately 37 billion gallons of fresh water at any given moment, more than every river on Earth combined, moving overhead, arriving on coastlines and mountain ranges across every continent. 200 days every year in the Atacama alone. Here's the question: the 2,000-year archaeological record, the Chango yield documentation, and the WHO's 2.2 billion figure have been building toward. With Schemenauer and Saraceda's 1994 peer-reviewed documentation of 15,000 liters of daily fog collection, with archaeological confirmation that pre-Columbian communities successfully farmed one of the driest environments on Earth using the same physics, with materials that cost less than a week's supply of bottled water and an ongoing energy requirement of zero. Why is atmospheric moisture collection not a standard component of water infrastructure planning in coastal fog zone communities globally? A mesh net collecting fog on a hillside generates no revenue for any water infrastructure company. A community that supplies its own drinking water from the atmosphere does not need to purchase treated municipal water. A household that collects fog overnight does not appear in any utility company's billing system. The Chango communities did not lose their fog agriculture because it failed. They lost it because colonial land use changes destroyed the biological infrastructure it depended on, and colonial administration removed the communities from the land before the knowledge could survive the transition. They could not take the fog. On the island of El Hierro in the Canary Islands, the indigenous Bimbache people maintained a sacred laurel tree, documented in Spanish colonial records of the 1500s, whose broad canopy collected Atlantic fog and directed the condensed water to a natural basin below. The tree was called the Garowe. El Hierro's modern water management still incorporates fog collection principles derived from the Garowe system. The Instituto Tecnológico de Canarias documents its performance today. In Chango, the 1987 FogNet project did not introduce a new technology to a community that had forgotten atmospheric water collection. It reintroduced a scaled modern version of what the coastal communities of the Atacama had practiced for 2,000 years. The village women who managed the FogNet water distribution system in Chango in the 1990s were, without knowing it, continuing a knowledge tradition their Chango predecessors had maintained until colonial disruption broke the chain of transmission 3 centuries earlier. They could not take the fog. For drinking water safety, atmospheric water is cleaner than most surface water sources. Basic filtration through activated charcoal removes particulates. 1 drop of unscented household bleach per liter provides complete sterilization if desired. For documented technical specifications, FogQuest's open access resources at fogquest.org contain the most comprehensive practical deployment documentation available: mesh specifications, frame construction, placement optimization, and yield data across multiple climate zones. Everything you need to begin. The driest place on Earth was never dry. The water was always there, moving overhead, arriving on schedule, waiting for whoever remembered how to collect it. They buried the knowledge. They could not bury the fog. This is before industry. What was replaced is documented. What was nearly lost is still working. Next, the grain that fed entire empires across 3 continents before a single corporate decision removed it from the global food supply in under a decade. the yield numbers it produced, and the highland community in Ethiopia where it never stopped growing. Every file in this archive was buried for a reason. Every one of them still works. Subscribe so none of them reach you too late.